Hello guys, welcome to our next video in our lightning tutorial sessions. I'm from the Salesforce Trailers team and today we're going to talk about events in our lightning components in Aura, how they behave, what they are used for and other stuff, right? So in the last session, we looked at our helper classes, our exception handling in Aura components and stuff like that. But today we're going to start looking into cross component communication, and events in Lightning are the first step to do that. All right. So, again, for any references to any theory or any explanations, you guys can go to our website and check out the events in Lightning topic in here. So, basically, we use our Lightning events to transfer or communicate between two separate Aura components. So this is what it says right here. Events in Lightning are used to transfer a message or data between two different Lightning components. So basically you want to use events when you want to send some data from one component to another. There are other ways to communicate between Aura components as well, apart from events, but we'll take a look at it when we discuss the scenarios further. So now, before we talk about the events in detail, there are two types of Lightning events. First ones are called your component events, and the second one are called your application events. So we're gonna take a look at them one at a time. So let's take a look at your component events first. So the basic thing about your component events is that they travel through the component hierarchy. And this is what it says right here. A component event travels through the component hierarchy and can be received by all the components in the hierarchy, including ourselves. So let me explain to you what is the component hierarchy first. So let's say we have this little diagram here. So let's say you have a component A, right? And inside of your component A, you are using your component B. So what that would look like in your code is, let me see if we have an example set up for that. Yeah, I think this is it. Right. So this is our child component, and I think we also have a parent. And this is called the attribute example one. Yeah. So let's say I want to call this child component from this. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to write here C child component and then just close it out. So now our parent is our attribute example.cmp component, and we're using a child component under it called the child component. So this is what is referred to here. You can suppose this component A is our attribute example, and then the child being used here is component B. So our child being used here is your child component, right? So let's suppose in the same way you have a component A, then you have two child components being used in the markup of array component, that are component B and component C. And then component B also uses one child component inside its markup called component D, and the same goes for component C, which uses component E as a markup. So the hierarchy for the component is defined as the path from that particular component to the topmost or root node in our hierarchy. And your root or topmost node is which has no parent, and it is the topmost level component. So for the component A, the hierarchy is just gonna be this component A itself. So this is the root, right? And it has no other component. So the hierarchy for this is only defined as this component A. Then if we talk about component B, the component hierarchy for this is B to A. So this component B, then we go upwards to its parent, and then we get to your component A. All right, so this is the hierarchy for your component B. Then for a component D, the hierarchy will go like this. You'll obviously count in this D component in the hierarchy. Then we go upwards to its parent. So then we go from D to B, and then from B we go to the topmost parent, and then we reach A. And then since A does not have any more parents, so the hierarchy for D is D to B to A. All right. Similarly, for component C, the hierarchy is from component C to A. Then for the E component, the hierarchy is component E to C to A. So remember we were talking about the component type of events. So component events only travel in the hierarchy. So what we mean by that is if we fire or send a component from this component D, it will go to the component D, then component B, and then component A. And then it will stop. All right. So this is how component events travel. So now you heard me mention some things like sending the event. So events are like basically some packages or a packet of information which are sent from any component, and then that package can be received by all the components and want to receive it. So in the case of your component events, you can send or fire an event from your component D, then that event can be received by any component in the hierarchy. So if I fire a component event from B, it can be received by B itself, then B, and then A. So yeah, you heard me right that if I fire it from D, the event can be received in the D component itself as well. Then it'll travel in the hierarchy. It can be received at your component B and then your component A. So this is the basic underlining of how your component events work. So now let us take a look of how do you actually implement a component event. So let me go back to my org. We don't need these two components for now. So the thing with events is they are separate from your Aura components. So if you want to use a lightning event, you'll need to define one. And you can do that by going to File, New, and then to Lightning Event. And let's name it my custom component event. So you'll see that I named this as my custom component event. And the reason why I named it as a custom component event is because we also have standard events, just like we have standard lightning components. So you can use standard lightning events in certain scenarios, but you can also define your own custom component events and then use those. So we'll take a look at the important standard lightning events in a later session. But for now, let us just implement a custom component event. So you see when I created it, it gave me this default markup. And so this type is what defines what type of component this is. So by default, this is application, which is the second type of a component. But for this example, we want to use a component type of event. So we change this to say component. And in the description, I write my first component event and I save this. So now this event has been saved and this is ready for usage by any Aura component. And this is now defined as a component type event. So one more thing, I mean, you can define an event right here. So you see, I just removed the closing tag from here and defined it explicitly. So since this is a packet of information, you can also define what information is sent in an event. And the way you do that is just like your Aura components, you can define attributes inside your event definition. Like this. Let's name this event info, and they work just the same like your Aura attributes and components. You can give it a type. Let us give it a type as string. All right, and I click on save. And when I click on save, so this is now ready for to be used with this event info attribute being sent inside the event. So now since my event is ready, I'm gonna create two Aura components. One is gonna be sending the event and second one is gonna be receiving the event. So let's say I name one as parent, just call it parent. So this is gonna be the receiver of our event. Then I'm gonna call the second component that I create as the child. And this child is gonna be the sender of my event. So a question that might come to you guys is why are we sending it from the child and receiving it in the parent? Can we not do it otherwise? So let me go back to this example. So you see the hierarchy always goes from the main component and upwards. So if I send an event from my component B, it'll only travel upwards the hierarchy if it is a component event, and it can only travel from B to A. So what trying to say here is, since the hierarchy only goes upwards, if we talk about the hierarchy for this component B, it goes from B to A, right? So there is no way to send the event information from B to D by component events. So that is why the component events only travel from the child to the parent. This is something important that you guys need to keep in mind, because this is generally an interview question as well, where they ask you why do we use component events and why do we use application events. So again, a particular point of note is by using component events, you can only send information from your child to the parent. All right. So now back to our example, we have this parent and we have this child. So now I'm gonna be sending the event from my child to the parent. So now we go back to our child component. So now the first step of our example is how to fire and component event. So when we need to fire an event, so the first thing you have to do is register that event in the component you want to fire it from. So we want to fire it from our child, right? So we will register the event on the child component. And we do that by using a tag called Aura register event. Like this. You need to give it a name. Let's say we just give it CMP event. And then you need to define the type of the event being used. And inside the type, we'll say C colon. Again, this C colon is the same thing when you define a component in your attribute. This C represents the default namespace. If we were to use an event of a managed package, we'll use the namespace of that package instead of the C. So after your C colon, you need to give in this event name, whatever you define. So we will write here my custom component event, and then close this out. So now this event is registered for this component, and which tells the Aura framework that we can successfully fire the event from here. So now how do we actually fire it off? So in order to demonstrate it, I'm going to create a button here, a lightning button. We're going to label it as fire event from child. Okay, and on the click of this button, I'm gonna call one of my JavaScript methods, and I'm gonna call it fire event. And now I'm gonna create a fire event method in my JavaScript controller. So let me copy the name from here. I go to my child's JavaScript controller and rename this as fire event, right? So now I'll write some code in here to fire my event from my child component. All right, so This is really easy. The only thing you guys need to keep in mind is this just works as any JavaScript that you have used in Aura components before. And again, all of these steps are laid out on our website for both application and component events. So you can go there and check out the code. All right. So, and it should help you guys out with the syntax and stuff if you have any issues even after the tutorial. So now let us begin writing the code to fire our component event. So first we declare a var and we just name it anything. Let us call it EVT from now. So first we need to get the event in a variable, and we do that by doing component dot get event, and inside of this you need to give the name of whatever you defined in the Aura register event. So this event is bound by this name for this component. So I copy the CMP event from here and I write it here and I save this. So now this event is bound to this CMP event register, and then in turn that EVT variable is bound to this event. Now the rest of the stuff is easy. I'm gonna set params inside the event. And what this set params does is, so if I go back to my event definition, I have this attribute inside of my event. So I can set this attribute's value by doing a set params. So I give it the name of the attribute here, and then I give it a value, let's say event body from child. And then I just do evt.fire. So this will get the event in a variable, ready, bind it, ready to be sent. We set the attributes inside of my event definition, and then we fire it off from the child. So our child side of things is ready. As soon as this button is clicked, we are gonna be firing that component event from our child. Now I am gonna go back to my parent component. So a component is being sent from the child, right? So first we need to add the child here in the markup of my parent so that we establish this parent and child relationship between them like this. So this is our parent and this is our child in is according to this example, right? Now, since we are going to be firing an event from C and we want to receive it at our parent component, we need to do what we call an Aura handler here. So what this Aura handler does is we can define what event we want to handle in our parent, and then after we have defined it, we can bind this handler to a JavaScript function in our parent. So what will happen is as soon as this child sends the event, this handler will recognize that event and then fire a JavaScript method in our parent with all the information that the event has passed on. All right. So let's take a look of how we do that. So the way we'll do that is in the Aura handler, the first thing you need to specify is the name, and this name should match the name specified in the register event in the child. So we define the name as CMP event, we copy this and we put it here. Then again, you need to define what type of event this is by using the event keyword here. And this will allow you to give it the type of the event. So the type of the event was C colon my custom component event. And then lastly, we're gonna have an action and we can bind it to a JavaScript function in my parent. So let's say we say this event receive. And let me just put it in the next line for ease for you guys. Okay. Oh, I think I misspelled it. Now, let me create the JavaScript controller for my parent and then just create this method here. Okay, now we have the handler set up properly as well. So now once the event reaches my parent, it'll call this action here. And I go this, so all that is left to do is now just fetch the information inside the event and use it. So whenever this event receive method is called, so we till now we have talked about this component keyword. This is used to read and write attributes and stuff. Then we have this helper, which is used to call your helper methods. Then this event is used to read values from the events received. So we are going to use this event keyword now. So what we can do is we're going to define a variable and then we're going to store our event body inside that variable. So the way we do that is let's define a var and let us say message from event. Oops, no spaces. This is JavaScript. And then we can do event dot get param, and inside the param you need to use, if I go to the child's controller, this param name that we set in the child, which is event info. And then now I'm just gonna alert out the value of this param that we got from the event. All right, so now the last step is to test this out. I'm gonna create an application and I'm gonna call it event testing. And the parent component goes in the markup of this application. All right, and let me click on preview. So now as soon as I click the button, this fire event from child button, we should be able to see an alert from the parent with the information. So let's go ahead and click this button. So I click this button and yes, you can see we got this alert here. So what actually happened? Let me go back to the child. I click the button from here. So we go to the child and we are sending this event, right? Let me just change this for you guys. Let us say it as Salesforce trailers. This event is fired by this evt.fire statement. Then we go to the parent, the markup of the parent. This handler receives that event and this handler calls this event receive method. Then from the event receive method, we read the information passed from the event in here in the event info parameter, and then we just alert it out. So let me go back here, refresh this. So now when I click this, it'll just say Salesforce trailers. All right. So this is the basic functionality of how we implement your component events in our components. So in the next session, we guys are gonna be implementing the application type events. We're gonna look into what our application events are, what are the differences in syntax, and we'll do a quick example of it. All right. So I hope to see you guys in the next session and keep learning.